The Legato Financial Group is as good as it gets when it comes to designing your retired life. I'm happy to be joined by Justin Jenkins, the president of Legato Financial Group. Welcome back to the show, Justin.
Hey, thanks for having me, Garrett.
Excited to be here. Excited for you to be here because every time, as much as I wish I could be retired at 33 going on 34, it's not the time yet, but I can't help myself. I always am starting to like pick Justin's brain about things, about what's going to happen in the market, what should I be doing, and of course this is not his sanctioned advice for me, but his demeanor is always, well, in my scope of view, Garrett, it doesn't matter because we got a plan. You know, is that right? Like, you guys have this LFG retirement blueprint, and that really does set your clients up for weathering anything the market does.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we all know that the market's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go sideways, all over the place, right? And so just making sure that you have a good, comprehensive plan is extremely important going into retirement.
Before we jump too far ahead into some of maybe the particular things that have changed in the world of, you know, finance and the economy and things like that, and how it pertains to your retirement plans, take us through a little bit more about what is in that retirement blueprint that is a proprietary to Legato Financial.
Absolutely. Well, we've spent really the last 10 years really defining what a retirement plan is, and then we started refining it and kind of really dialing that in. So I think having a proper income plan is obviously really important. So having a cash flow analysis, mapping out your full income strategy for retirement obviously is really important going into retirement. But then of course with market volatilities and changing from putting money into your investments and now starting to take money out, it's important to have a good investment strategy. So it's income, it's investments, tax planning is just crazy important, especially right now with the upcoming tax changes in the near future. So tax planning is important, and then of course healthcare and estate planning all kind of pull that together, and that's what you get whenever we build the LFG retirement blueprint.
And you have a conversation with Justin, and I'll encourage you to reach out to Legato Financial as much as possible because they know what they're doing. But you emphasize how great you all are at designing these retirement plans for people. And there are so many things that change in the world of retirement, whether it be Social Security or just tax benefits and when to retire, things like that. I want to focus in on a couple of things. Mainly, like, I want to talk about there's been some changes in the Secure Act, or what is the Secure Act? Let's start with what is the Secure Act.
Yeah, well, so a lot of people actually didn't hear about the Secure Act when it kind of first came out. So it first passed into law in 2019. It was implemented in 2020. Wasn't talked about a whole lot in the first version, and then of course just recently, and we're starting to hear about it more now, is the Secure Act 2.0. So it was quite a few changes in the first version and the second version that is going to affect how everyone retires.
Well, and it goes a long way with helping people with setting up and properly funding their retirement, right?
Absolutely.
Setting up their 401ks, and if you're a small business owner, making sure that you can provide that to people, right?
Yeah, a lot of law changes there. Used to be 401ks was really only for the very large companies. Now they're kind of starting to be more available to smaller companies as well, and then how you take money out, all these different factors into the Secure Act.
Another retirement vehicle that can be very useful for a lot of people are IRAs. What do people need to know, especially when it comes to planning what happens to their IRA and passing on their IRAs in retirement?
Yeah, two major things that just changed pretty recently. The first version of the Secure Act changed the required minimum distribution age from 70 and a half, and they pushed it up to 72. Now the Secure Act 2.0 just changed that from 72, and now it's pushed it to 73, unless you're 63 or younger, in which case your required minimum distribution will change to 75. So that'd be actually taking the money out.
Yeah.
That was a huge change with the Secure Act, and then actually probably one of the biggest problems with the Secure Act was that how that money is passed on to beneficiaries. So used to, we would have what we call the stretch IRA. So if a non-spouse inherited a 401k or an IRA, they were, the beneficiary would have to take RMDs from the portfolio, but they were able to stretch those RMDs out over their entire life. So a smaller RMD over a longer period of time, and just allowed more money to stay tax deferred and kept taxes kind of a little bit lower.
That was going to be my next question.
So that option now is gone completely. So now a non-spouse beneficiary must take out the entire account balance over a period not to exceed 10 years. So that means a larger RMD has to come out of the account over a shorter period of time at likely some very heightened tax rates.
I was about to say that has to have major tax implications.
It does, because RMDs, Garrett, are always stacked on top of all of your other income, which is always going to keep it at the highest marginal bracket that you're in for that given year.
And there's only a certain amount that you can contribute to an IRA, a 401k at any given time. throughout the course of a calendar year. What are some of those? How does that change over the course of somebody's lifetime? What are the IRA contribution changes based on age limitations?
Yeah, well, so once you reach 60, you can actually start doing some catch-up contributions. You can add an extra $1,000 per year. But with the Secure Act, one of the things that it did was between ages 63 and 65, you can actually contribute up to $10,000. And that doesn't start until 2025, but that was another one of those pretty big changes that the Secure Act did.
Yeah, and guys, if you haven't caught on to the fact that Justin and the whole team at Legato Financial really knows what they're talking about with this stuff, like you just listed that stuff off cold, and this is a world that's constantly changing. Like, what are you guys seeing from the conversations that you're having with your clients nowadays? Is like what they're hearing versus what's really happening based on your all's understanding of all these changes in different.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett, it's just things change every single day. There's new laws. There's laws that are proposed and talked about, then there's laws that actually pass. And so a lot of times we tend to hear a lot of the proposals rather than the actual passed laws. And so we have to just really focus on what is actually in law, what is in place today, what do we know is going to change in the near future, and then how can we really plan for that? And I think that the reason that we've been able to really kind of stay above some of that is that we have brought in a lot of experts on our team. So, I mean, we have the experts in-house to really help with all these areas. Right. And I would, should definitely mention that we also have a sister brand, which is Legato CPAs and Advisors. And so we do have a CPA in-house as well that does a lot of our tax planning. And then, of course, right now doing a lot of, year-end filings.
Yeah. So I hope you all are catching on to the fact that when we use the phrase, designing a retirement that's right for the person watching, a retirement designed for you, like these are all examples that we just talked about that are going to be unique to every single person you meet with.
Absolutely. I mean, a huge part of retirement is Social Security. And so many people, even I just saw a statistic last week that still majority of Americans are taking Social Security at age 62, which is the lowest amount that you would ever receive. Not saying that's the wrong choice for everyone, but it could be the wrong choice for certain people. And there's just so many variables to consider that, just because I might need to take mine at 62, you might need to take yours at 65 or vice versa. There could be various differences.
What are the conversations that you're having with people as I just want you to expand a little bit more about that, because you guys are having these conversations. What are other questions that you're asking your clients to help them identify what the right plan for them is?
Well, we have to know their goals. First and foremost, what are some of your goals? Because that's what we want to solve for. What type of retirement goals do you have? What are you going to be spending in retirement? Of course, what type of assets have you saved? Because that could get, your tax plan is going to be obviously really important. And so, looking at, the type of money that you saved, what type of accounts have you saved it in? All of these areas are just a tremendous amount of details that we have to gather to build that plan.
And again, if you don't mind, just one more, touch on it one more time before we got just under a minute. The 5 steps or the 5 arms of that Legato Financial Group blueprint.
Absolutely. So first and foremost is your income plan. That's how we map everything out. We have to know your income, and then that's how we look at your investments. We look at your taxes, everything else from that. So income planning is where it starts. Investment planning is super important with the volatility of the market right now. So investment planning is number 2. Tax planning is the absolute most important thing you could be doing right now. Tax laws are changing very soon, so tax planning is huge. And then healthcare and estate planning. All of that together is the LFG retirement blueprint.
It's amazing. Legato Financial Group, Justin Jenkins, they're quickly becoming the go-to retirement planning company, wealth management company for a lot of people right here at Wave News. So we encourage you all to trust them and give them a call. Schedule your free consultation with the people over at Legato Financial Group. LegatoFinancial.com, best place to get started with doing that. Stick around after the break. We are coming back with Dr. Wormling, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about how you might be ready. If you're ready to try Botox, now might be the best time to give him a call, schedule a time to go visit him, or stop in on a drop-in Botox day. We'll tell you more about that right after the break.